Hi guys, this is Wayne R here, and I'm not doing a lesson today. This is going to be my first gear review. So today I'm going to be reviewing a fuzz pedal by a guy called Doktor Rok, and if you want that spelled, that is D-O-K-T-O-R-R-O-K. Okay, and I'll put some links to, because obviously I'm going to talk about the appearance of this pedal, and I'll give you a little bit of a road test on this review as well. And I'll probably in my comments below I'll put a link to everything, because he's on Facebook and he's got his own website, and I'll put a link to everything at the end. So the pedal I've actually got is called a Fuzzfing, and on appearance, you know, it's obviously a lot different to what the regular pedals you get, which I think that's quite quirky. I'm really impressed with it. It's got a nice psychedelic finish. I think he does them in all different finishes, and the price for this one, because it's got a few more regular controls and a few more controls than the regular one. So this one retails at, depending on the finish, £66 to £77, and he'll do one with just a little level on and the fuzz, which is £55 to £66. Now, like I say, on appearance, it's a little bit different. If I've got anything to sort of nitpick about, probably for those who've got pedal boards like myself, I'm in a band and I've probably got about 20 effects to use. I've just found it a little bit hard to sort of squeeze in with my pedals, you know what I mean, with it being sort of, you know, the inputs, and it's quite wide, you know, wider than a regular pedal. But I just managed to sort of squeeze it in at the top, which was great. And I must say, I'm going to try it out in a minute. We'll give it a little road test. I was that impressed with it, I've actually made it fit on my pedal board, and I actually used it with my band at a gig that we just did, and it's you know, fantastic. But we've got a level on, so that's obviously the level. Everyone knows what that is. It's got a 9-volt input. Actually comes with an adapter, this too, so you haven't got to worry about buying an adapter. A bias switch, which we'll talk about in a minute. A level, and then it's got a fuzz, and it's actually got a little voice switch as well that slightly changes the tone of, you know, the two different types of fuzz that you can use on it. So we'll talk about that in a minute. And one thing I will say, it's metal, it's really solid, so it's going to take quite a lot of hammer, this is. So if you did get one of these, it's going to probably last you quite a long time. It's going to take a lot of stick, like this. So without further ado then, let's give it a road test. Okay, so let's give this thing a road test. So first of all, the sign of a really good fuzz pedal, because I'm a bit of a geek when it comes to this, is if you can actually play the fuzz and hear the chords coming through, you know, so it doesn't sound, because you get some fuzz pedals that are really muddy, so just playing open chords, you know. First of all, I think that sounds really good. So the top settings, so what I've got this on for settings that suit me personally, that I find, you know, I actually use in my band, I've got the level on full, and then I've got the rest of the settings, which will be the bias, the level and the fuzz, all on about 9 o'clock, because I think, you know, anything above that, it's a little bit too much for me. But I think with this you're going to get the classic, you know, 60s tone, which that's what you want to get out of a fuzz, you know, fuzz pedal. So it's got a little voice switch. Now that is on the top position. If I switch that down, so that gives it more fuzz, and now we're into that classic 60s, you know, that real fuzz. I personally think that sounds great. You know, it's very close to how you'd want it to sound for, especially a well-known, you know, the classic 60s like Led Zeppelin or Jimi Hendrix. You're going to want that sound. And I'm a bit of a geek when it comes to, you know, fuzz pedals and things like that. I've actually got quite a big collection, don't tell the wife. But I used to have the classic fuzz face, like that Jimi Hendrix used to use in the early 60s. And they're quite rare now. I think they've reissued them, but they're not half as good as what the originals were. I used to have an original one, and sadly I sold it on a well-known auction site. I wish I hadn't have done, but I must say that's probably the best pedal that I've ever had, you know, sounding wise, to get close to that 60s vibe. And I must say this is pretty close. It's pretty up there. I'm really impressed with this pedal, you know what I mean? So that will be the voice switch down. Okay, so when you put the voice switch up, I think that really cuts through, you know, on the lead. Okay, a little bit, that's dry, put a little bit of delay into the equation. And like I say, I tried it with, you know, with a live band. Now my band's loud. We do everything from, you know, the Rolling Stones through to probably the Kings of Leon, you know, modern day stuff. We do a lot of functions and weddings. Anyone got a wedding, come up, give me a shout. But our other guitarist, we sort of share the lead and we share the rhythm, you know, obviously because I'm the singer in the band, so he probably takes most of the lead guitaring on. But when I actually do play lead, you know, sometimes you need a bit of a boost pedal or something like that. I found with this pedal, it really cut through the mix on your little lead parts, and, you know, it really cut over the other guy's guitar, which is quite rare with a fuzz pedal. It can normally sound really muddy and get lost in the mix, but I must say, I'm really impressed with this one. On both levels, the both different voices. The top one is obviously better for the lead stuff. And then when we flip the voice switch down, we're into the, you know, the classic fuzz tone. So all in all, I'd probably give this pedal a really high 9 out of 10. You know, I'd really recommend it. They're not available in shops. Like I say, I'm going to put a link in my comments below, but I really would recommend this pedal. It's a really solid bit of kit, and the sound more than makes up for the, you know, if some nitpickers will be a bit what's it about the shape of it, but the sound and the tone of it more than makes up for that. It's up there, far better than a Big Muff and pedals like that. So if you're after a classic fuzz tone to get close to that 60s vibe, I would really recommend this. And like I say, I'll put all the information and all the links to the guy's website in my comments below, so please check it out. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you for another review and another lesson very soon.